We're always hearing about these grand digital blueprints, these white papers, right? But how often do you actually get to watch one turn into a real, tangible industry? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today with the Cardano ecosystem. We're going to see how simple lines of code are transforming into the very foundation of a global network.
So that really brings us to the core question, doesn't it? How does an idea become an industry? It's this fascinating layering process. One breakthrough becomes the bedrock for the next one. And we're going to break down exactly how Cardano is pulling this off piece by piece.
All right, first up, the digital blueprint. And look, think about it for a second. Any powerful economy, I don't care if it's digital or physical, it absolutely needs one thing to even get off the ground: a stable, reliable financial system. It's the plumbing, right? It's the bedrock that everything else is built on.
And that leads us right to the first, absolutely critical building block. For years, the entire crypto world has been on this quest for the holy grail, a digital dollar that actually, stays a dollar. Sounds so simple, right? But believe me, it is a massive technical challenge. So the fancy term for this is a peg. But really, it's just a promise. A promise that one of these tokens is always going to be worth $1. The real magic, though, the thing that builds all the trust, is making sure that promise doesn't break when things get crazy in the market. And yeah, that is the whole problem right there. The second that a dollar isn't worth a dollar anymore, the whole system gets shaky. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand. It just doesn't work. You need something solid underneath. Okay, now this is where we see a serious engineering leap forward. On the left, you've got the old way. It was kind of clunky. You had this thing called slippage, which basically means you don't get exactly a dollar back. It needed traders to constantly jump in and fix things. But then look at the right. This is Indigo Protocol's solution, the Peg Stabilization Module, or PSM. It's just elegant. It's simple, it's efficient, and it's built to do one thing perfectly: hold that dollar peg. So you're probably asking, how does it actually work? And the beauty is in its simplicity. It's just 3 steps. 1. You deposit a stablecoin you trust, like USDCx. 2. The system mints you an exact 1-to-1 amount of its own stablecoin, IUSD. And 3, when you want your original dollar back, you just do the reverse. That's it. It's a guaranteed 1-for-1 swap, every single time. No slippage, no weird math, just a rock-solid peg. And this is where you really see that layering effect I was talking about. It's like dominoes. Indigo creates this super stable asset, IUSD. Then, bam, another major protocol, Liqwid Finance, immediately plugs it into their system. They activate a market for it. And just like that, people can supply it, borrow against it, use it as collateral. The financial plumbing is all getting connected, and you can see the value starting to flow through the pipes. Okay, so you've got this stable financial layer starting to really solidify. So what's next? Well, this is where the ambition just goes to another level. We're making the jump from solving digital-only problems to building actual, real-world, physical stuff. We're literally going from code to concrete. And speaking of ambition, it doesn't get much bigger than World Mobile's mission. Seriously, their goal isn't just to write some cool software. It's to build a global telecommunications network from the ground up. Their own words say it best. We are building a new connectivity layer that works alongside satellites and towers to reach the places others cannot. I mean, wow. And their strategy to get this done is it's incredible. It's happening on 3 different layers at once. First, they're literally going to the stratosphere, joining an alliance to beam down 5G from high-altitude aircraft. At the exact same time, they're pushing into huge markets like the US by acquiring parts of other companies. And the foundation for all of it, their ground network of community-owned AirNodes, which is just spreading and spreading in places like Pakistan and beyond. Now look, when you've got that kind of insane ambition, your tools have to keep up. They have to evolve. You can't just be building for a handful of early adopters anymore. You have to engineer a system that's ready for massive, global scale. And this quote from them just nails that shift in thinking perfectly. Built for builders, engineered for scale. See? The focus isn't just on getting the first few users connected anymore. It's about creating a platform that empowers a whole army of builders, network operators all over the world, to expand the network for them. So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, they're opening the whole thing up. No more exclusive whitelists. Anyone can join in. They're giving operators one clean dashboard to manage everything. But this last part, This is the real game changer. You can now take the rewards you've earned and immediately use them to buy more AirNodes. That right there creates this powerful, self-fueling growth loop for the whole network. It's brilliant. So, okay, let's recap. We've got the stable financial layer, we've got the plan for this huge physical expansion, but the big question is it actually working? This is the moment we stop talking about the blueprint and start looking at the cold, hard data, the actual results. And World Mobile is not shy about it. They make a really bold claim. They say this is proof that DePIN can scale. And DePIN, that just stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Networks. It's this wild idea of using crypto incentives to build real-world things, like cell service. It's a massive concept, so let's see if they've got the numbers to back up that confidence. And wow, these numbers, from just 1 month, are absolutely staggering. I mean, just look at this chart. Hardware revenue shot up by more than 200%. Total revenue almost doubled. This is not theory anymore. This isn't a white paper. This is real-world business, and it's growing at an explosive pace.
So here's the real takeaway. The story has changed. We are past the point of just talking about lines of code and potential. The narrative now is about revenue. It's about shipping hardware. It's about real networks expanding on the ground in the real world.
And that brings us full circle, right back to the beginning. The blueprint is undeniably becoming a reality. We've watched how a stable financial layer created the foundation for a physical infrastructure layer to just explode. The foundation is set, so the really exciting question now is, what's going to get built on top of all this next?